Yes, time. Yes, show time. Yeah, guys, good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on Elevated TV Radio. My name is Daffy Matthews. You're going to love to come in Elevated on the Sports. Wish I could be faster than this, but I don't have the energy today. Even with the tea, the Lipton, the traditional Lipton tea from Mrs. Idafi. Uh, Lipton tea with cinnamon in it. Yes, take it in. Let me wait for the congregation, for the masses to join, because the people have not yet joined. So let's give the people a chance to join, and then so I don't start talking for nothing. Mhm. I like to talk. Okay, one person I've joined. Okay, it's Henry Morrow. I know the thing I want to talk. I not talk him again. Henry Morrow is like he's the class monitor. He's the class rep. It's no need to say anything. There are three people now that have joined. Henry Murray will just join in and like the other people would join, and then they'll be waiting for us to pray to sacrifice the blood of Jesus a second time for them to click the like button. I don't understand, but God is watching you people anyhow. Sha. Well, this morning, Arsenal tasted defeat for the very first time in 2024. Yes, all the jazz that they went to Dubai to go and do, those jazz are faded. Yes. Uh, God of heaven. They lost, but it is the manner in which Arsenal lost that really hurts. Okay, when you play that game, I mean, it felt like a game that you will play for 10 years and there will be no goal. And then the very last kick of the game, you concede a goal. I mean, it would have been good if they take a draw back home and then they go home and finish the job. FC Porto doesn't also look to me like a team that will go away and go and sit back. But then, Arsenal have actually not won at the Dragao before. I mean, previously they played there 3 times, lost two, and drawn one. This is the third time that the fourth time they're playing there. So they've lost 3 times and drawn one. So it's not really like, oh, something strange happened, because that's not a place where they go to win. But then FC Porto also struggled to play at the Emirates. So we'll keep our fingers crossed and see how this go, because by my own count, it does also mean that one way or the other, one way or another, yes, I'm gonna gotcha. Okay, so one way or the other, this result means that what is expected actually happened. Even though Arsenal have scored 21 goals and like 5 mini matches is this year, I've considered only two. It didn't change anything. This is the Champions League. And a couple of days ago, I asked a question: should Arsenal focus on the league or the Champions League, or pursue the two? And everybody said they should pursue the two. One defeat is not enough for us to start to say, "Oh, I said it," or "I didn't said it." Okay, so let's keep our fingers crossed. Wait for the return leg. Oh man, this day is going to be good. Oh, all the way from Chicago, we have $10 already. Sometimes you just pray. Just now. Mrs. Edafe, please come. Just now. When I want to start this show, Mrs. Edafe, please, you must come. You must come. Charlie, come. When I want to start, so dear Lord, you know how broke your son is. God, please inspire my people, bless them, and let them bless me. This Mrs. Edafe said I was Oliver Twist. That's what she said. I'm asking. How did you say it again? That I've forgotten. He said, "See, brother, Oliver Twist. Now you work their money for them, blah blah." See, you know how women can really mock Isha, can really bust a bubble. But I was just praying because, to be very honest, two things I'm looking forward to. I mean, I'm counting to go to the All African Games. I'm also hoping that by going to the All African Games, our numbers would grow. And I said I'll be doing a night show, but I just noticed that since after the AFCON, the numbers of viewers have dropped crazily, to that point where I start feeling like, you know what, this is not it. Let me, it always happen. I don't know, it always happened every year like that, that there's a window where everything will just shut down on you. You start wondering like what's going on. Nobody wants to be part of the show anymore. Nobody wants to do anything anymore. And you get encouragement from moments like this where somebody just come in and pop in and give you. First of all, it's not my right. That's why it excites me. It's not like, oh, you have to pay to watch. No, you don't have to. It's free. No, it's actually not free because you're using your data and your time. and then you're contributing, and the comments you're making is also helping. Then it was a cold night and everything. I was like, oh God, let me have viewers that that blesses the presenter, or the blesses the show. And normally blessings normally come like, giftings normally come towards the end of the show. 5 minutes into the show, less than 5 minutes into the show, we already have $10. That's big. Oh. Now, if I know the exchange rate now, I don't say na big money. Oh. And the other day I was talking to a friend of mine. Look, all these our friends in the diaspora, Mona help us. Mona help us. Some of us want to go into buying fish from Nigeria and sending to the abroad. If you have plug, Mona help us. Not be because see now the dream we will get to, but the condition in the country have warranted that. For somebody like me, we don't want to jackpot. Forget anything. All that one, no, they no matter the country do reach. I don't want jackpot. I go day here. We go join hand fix them. But those of now with that abroad, if I get plug of somebody we need to go to supply fish, pepper, gari, red oil is liquid. That one is stressful. But if you need a rise, wanna give me plug, or give us, just connect us. Because again, like I told a friend, I say go hard for us to continue to the beg on our money, because at some point we're gonna avoid our calls. The one wanna willingly and freely give, it's understandable. But to say, oh, anytime you need, guys, anytime you need money, just call me. I just say, bros, I'm not gonna fit to I'm not fit to you, like I'm not gonna fit. If I need money, I not call you. Not be because say I be proud, but because if they quick, they bring still finish. So if you dare your mind, say I won't bless this guy, bless me. But make I call you, no, I won't do that. And if it felt to him like I was I don't know, I was being proud. I don't know, you guys, what do you think? Is that like pride, or me just being very honest and straightforward? Because again, it doesn't really look good to put your burden on some other persons, to put it like in the face of another person, like you're responsible for me. It doesn't look good. If they are helping you, they are out of their free will doing it, right? That's nice. But to not just sit where you are and just hope that, oh, now this person I will call, they give me money. That's why they work. Oh, that's why they hustle. Finish this one, I'll go on the street, go find one thing what I could do, to keep it going. And then the fact that people like us also get many people where they depend on us means that we can't even lazy about. We can't do a little folding of the hand, a little sleep, and poverty attack you like a bandit. Because even with work, poverty they attack us like bandits already. But let's come back to the game. It was as far as I'm concerned, Napoli versus Barcelona really was a good game. Unfortunately, it didn't go as planned. It didn't go like I was hoping. I was actually hoping against all hope that one way or the other, um, what's it called? Napoli will win that game against Barcelona. Come on, it is this Barcelona and not that Barcelona. This Barcelona. So I had hope. I had very high hopes that Barcelona, no matter what happened, they cannot beat Napoli. Napoli at home, they would, but that didn't happen. They even scored first. Man of the match, Robert Lewandowski scored first, and that just kind of like changed the story. But Victor Osimhen came from behind Obukoko style and rescued the point for Napoli. Now they have to go to Barcelona eventually and see if they can rescue a win. I want to see Napoli go forward, and Barcelona fans are here. They will be angry with me now. People like Ibrahim Kalajaye will not be happy with me. But Barcelona for now are not a team that you want to have going forward in the Champions League. They will still get beaten. So let Napoli go forward and just experience progress. Victor Osimhen keep scoring, keep doing the things that they know how to do. He's my boy, so I like him. I want him to make progress in the competition. There's no hiding that fact. So I don't know. But then for Arsenal, I think that they scored all the goals in the Premier League, or probably the Asher, the soap what they give them for Dubai, for UAE, is only to score goals in the Premier League. Because I was looking at that game, and I was looking at it from a technical point of view, like a game reader. I was reading the game for the coach, and in my head, I was like, there was no where the goal was coming. And it's not as if FC Porto sat deep. They sit back to hit Arsenal on the counter, and they tried, but there was just no. There was no way. You look at the Arsenal team, like they just were not playing well on the day. They were not putting it on the plate. Kai Havertz was making the usual run arrival, but the passes were just not arriving at the right places. Or probably Porto had studied Arsenal well, so much so that they were in the pocket of space where it really does happen. Because if you look at the triangle of Ben White, Bukayo Saka, and Odegaard. Every time that triangle wants to click, want to spark into life, Porto just sniff it up. They know how to like put 3 or 4 people to form the guardrail, and then divert that thing either to a corner kick that Arsenal was not using well, or to a free kick or something that wasn't going to go into that rhythm where Arsenal find their rhythm and then destroy the opposition. They just didn't allow it happen. That's one part of it. Again, FC Porto kind of like knew that we might not get too many chances, but let's just be accurate, let's just be pinpoint, let's just find precision and get it done. And I think that's what happened with them, and they just got it done, and it was beautiful. It delight for me. I don't know about anybody, but for me, it was a delight to see. I'm an Arsenal fan. Arsenal fans will not be happy with me, but it was a delight to see Arsenal beaten. Because again, I thought that in the Champions League, Teta would have played in Ramsdale. Okay, that's what I thought, and especially for FC Porto that wasn't playing on the front foot, wasn't keeping a high line of defense, because that's where what's his name now? David Raya, ability to play the ball long, go long, and then put the ball in the trouble spaces. Again, there are some players who also didn't come to the party, like Trossard. Everything he did just didn't go well. Some players just didn't come to the party anyway. But that's for Arsenal. And then one of the game that I followed again yesterday was the Liverpool versus Luton game. Okay, so I mean, it's too much to ask. Let's be honest. Asking Luton to be the one that will beat Liverpool. Come on, are you crazy? But when they took the lead, when Ogbene took the lead, in my head, in my small picking imagination, I was like, Chidozie, well done. Chidozie Ogbene, well done for that one. But it was 12th minute of the game, and that's the wrongest time to score a goal against Liverpool. If you want to beat Liverpool, first off, do the job of defending, and then keep it to like the 90th or 89th minutes, and then you score. Then you put all your life. You put the trailer, the bus, the bike, the Okada, the wheelbarrow, the ruler, the curtains, everything on the goal line, and put your life on the line. Like Jose Mourinho's Chelsea in the first coming used to be like. Then we can sit back and say you'll win. But to score in the 12th minute, it was like stinging the tail of a lion. It's not going to kill it. Even if there's a poison, the lion is still going to cause a lot of damage before it would die. And that's exactly what happened, because in the 56 minutes, the second half, Liverpool came into this game with one thing in mind. You know what? We're not going to allow Man City with their current form being in front of us, or probably Arsenal with their current form being in front of us, and then we start struggling to play catch up. No, it's not going to happen. For now, we're still going to hold our own. And it was Virgil van Dijk in the 56 minutes of all people who came in, ran into that McAllister assist, and it was 1-1. And from that moment, I knew, there is nothing Luton Town is going to do. It's going to be trouble. Even immediate substitution of and the Townsend didn't change anything, as they just brought him in. Cody Gakpo said, welcome. Again, it was McAllister's assist that made it 2-1, as Cody Gakpo made it 2-1 for Liverpool. And then it took some time, some long time, like 13 more minutes, and Liverpool had made the change. Bradley had gone. Bradley, what is his name now? Bradley Connor Bradley had been removed, and Robson came in. And just when you thought, okay, Liverpool are going to, relax, take the foot off the pedal, Luis Diaz got the pass and assist from Robertson, and Robertson came off the bench and created the assist for the third goal, and it was 3-1. Then 3-1 was fine. It was over. Liverpool made all the changes that they need to make. Ryan Gravenberch, was removed for Clark. Gomez, was removed for was yellow carded for holding someone, and then Dance came on for Diaz. McConnell came on for the assist master McAllister, but then that didn't change anything, as Avi Elliott made it 4-1. I know that Emmanuel Sebastian is somewhere smiling, looking like $1 billion right now, premium or nothing as far as Liverpool was concerned. But then go to the Champions League, it was a different story. It was 2 games that produced just 3 goals. All those over 2.5 better, sorry. All those over 1.5 in the Arsenal game, sorry. All those Liverpool and Napoli will win or Barcelona will win, sorry. It was a whole lot of sorry sides. Even in the UEFA Europa Cup playoff, it was Genk won. Maccabi Haifa won as the game ended 1-1, a goal apiece. But it's the FC Porto top, what's it called, Arsenal game that I sat and watched. Okay, and after the game, I've like, okay, there's really no major talking point. I'm not going to do a show. Plus the fact that I was a bit tired, really, really tired. I've had a very long working day, stressful and all that, so I slept off. Okay, so this morning, that's all we're going to talk about. FC Barcelona. You see, when Real Madrid lost Cristiano Ronaldo and eventually lost Benzema, I think they've turned the circle. Since Cristiano Ronaldo left, they've also won the league title. They've also won the Champions League. When, I'm asking you guys now, when do you think Barcelona can come back to that team that we used to know them? Okay, so not the Messi team. I don't think they can have that Messi team again. But when would Barcelona come back to that team that when they are coming to play you, you're afraid? Because again, next season, Lewandowski might not be all firing, all hot, or leading the line. They will still need to do some transfer businesses and still need to bring in some players. And I look at the players that they have currently in their squad. I'm saying to myself, yes, they do look like a team that's planning for the future. But we need to know, like the disciples of John the Baptist was sent to go and ask Jesus, are you the Messiah, the one that is to come, or there is another one that we would hope for? So look at the squad that started against Napoli, for instance. Ter Stegen was in goal. I think it will still be in goal. Koundé, Arayo, Martinez, and Cancelo. You look at the squad, I think that this backline will still be there next season and going forward. A little bit of refreshing. Gundogan, yeah, one more season, but not a major mainstay. Christensen and De Jong. Guys, we've seen this team have midfield players like Pep Guardiola and his gang, Sergio Busquets, Xavi Iniesta, Xavi Hernandez, and Andres Iniesta. And now what we have in the Barcelona midfield, I mean, just think about it too, is the young Christensen and Gundogan. I'm not disrespecting these guys, but the bar used to be here. Now the bar is here. I mean, okay, so let's go to the attack. Yamal in the place of Lionel Messi, just in case you don't know. Lewandowski in the place of Luis Suarez, and Pedri in the place of Neymar in the MSN. This squad no match. Like, I would gladly say Arsenal should meet FC Barcelona. I think that Arsenal can beat this FC Barcelona. That's my own. When I look at the Napoli Arsenal game yesterday, I mean the FC Porto Arsenal game yesterday, and then I caught the highlights of the Barcelona Napoli game, Napoli Barcelona game. And I was saying to myself, you know what? Arsenal would have beaten this Barcelona if they played against them, even if they played at the Nou Camp. Normally Arsenal don't go to the Nou Camp to get a result. The best result they've ever gotten there was a draw. I think a 2-2 draw some time ago. But I look at this squad and I say to myself, Arsenal would beat this Barcelona without fear or favor, unless the referee does some magic. But I do not see that happening. I just think in my head that Arsenal will beat this Barcelona. I don't know what you guys think, but there's just something about this Barcelona that is not giving at all. So I want to hear your take on this. I want to read your take on all of this. What do you think about this Barcelona? When is the tide going to turn? When is the tide going to turn? With the way you saw Arsenal play against FC Porto, what do you expect in the return leg? Is Arsenal's journey in this competition about to end, or it was okay? 1-0 defeat is okay. They can go back home and score quite a lot of goals. They've been scoring a lot of goals in England. 6 goals against West Ham, 5 goals against Burnley. They can also turn on the screw against FC Porto if they need be. And that game kind of like made me ask some questions. Does it mean that the Premier League is really that crappy that you can score 5 goals, 6 goals? I mean, you are on the run of scoring goals, and then all of a sudden in the Champions League against FC Porto, not really doing too well. Yes, they've got pedigree in this competition. They've won it before with Jose Mourinho and the rest. But hey, let's be very, very honest. Yeah, this is FC Porto. Arsenal should be able to get something. Arsenal have gone to Porto now, the Dragao, for 4 times, and they've lost 3 times and drawn 1. Even in a time where they are in the best form, of the year, the calendar year, they've not lost this year until this game. They still couldn't find a win. Well, Henry Morrison, good morning, bros. Good morning to you. And then he went on to say, inside this rain, Nain Olanari shower us with money. God bless, bro. Yeah, thank you very much, Olanari, for giving us $10 all the way. He says, hey, shout out from Shaitan. For those of you who don't know, Shaitan is Arukelistan. That's Chicago, okay? For people say, where be Shaitan again? Okay. Henry Morrison, bro, see the way Osimhen shows Napoli that is their Lord and Savior last night. Despite their shambolic display, he stood out and gave them hope. Yes, Chike Ayalogu says, hello, Idafi. Do you think the Western view is harsh on Osimhen? On TNT Sports, they seem to be harsh on him, talking about he was poor all night and did not finish the goal well. I don't think that the Western view is harsh on him. The thing is, when it happens to a black player, a Nigerian player, we kind of quickly play the card of the West versus Africa. I don't think so. But what I just think is that, like Henry said, Napoli were shambolic. And in times like that, you pick on the star player. There is good that comes with being the star player of a team. And you've seen that with players like Neymar, Mbappe. You've seen that with players like Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo. Once it goes wrong, if it's going right, even when you don't play well, look at the World Cup. Let's be very honest. Yeah, Messi had some good games, but in between, he wasn't really as imperious, as fantastic as he was in 2010 or as he was in 2014 and even 2018. He wasn't devastatingly hot, but he won the best player, won everything. Like, he got all the praises. I thought that Lautaro Martinez and McAllister and a few other guys, DePaul, had like very good games, but Messi was Messi because he's the star player. But also remember that in that is trolling that I was trolling. Let's say they got knocked out in the quarterfinals or semifinals, or even they lost the finals, and then the conversation will come back again and say, why take a player that is spent, a player that is dead, a player that is not good enough, that is trolling, that didn't even have a good season with Paris Saint-Germain? That's the way it is. There's a price to pay for being the star player of a team. The blames and the praises come together. And so I'm not going to sit here and say they are being harsh on him, but I'm just saying nature is taking its course, in the sense that this is what happens when you're the star player. You're the African Footballer of the Year. And don't forget that no matter how objective you want to be, this is the job that I've been doing now for exactly 20 years. No matter how objective you want to be on this job, you will one way or the other pile up other matches. Coming from the AFCON, where it wasn't, I mean, I could jolly well say Osimhen was a flop at the AFCON. Yeah. The expectation versus the reality, I could say, is a flop. The only reason we are not saying that is the fact that he's a Nigerian. We got to the semifinal. He's our star boy. We try to manage it. If Osimhen was a player of another country, the African Footballer of the Year, player of another country, and he got all the way to the finals, he scored only one goal, won a penalty, gave 1 or 2 assists, we would say he's a flop. We've said that before of Sadio Mane when he won the African Footballer of the Year, Adebayor, what's it called, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Ivo Yaya and Didier Drogba, when they played in the African Cup of Nations as winners of the African Footballer of the Year without doing really well. But because he's our player, we kind of like, start partying him and like keep him going and then excuse the pattern of play and everything. Now, that's in the minds of the TNT people or any other media people. They are now bucking it up and saying, oh, you know what? Is he really all that? Is he? No, he's not there. This Barcelona team, again, when you look at the Barcelona team, let's be honest, they were there for the taking. But one of the reasons why I don't blame a striker that much is maybe because, I come from playing football. I understand that strikers function on the abundance of the provision made for them. So a striker is only going to be judged based off of how much clear-cut chances was created for him. So, based on expectation, a striker is expected to say take one chance out of every 3 or 4. So when you go back and count the chances, I don't think he had that. So the one he took is the reason they are still in the game, and they can still go to the new camp and do something. Are they being harsh on him? I don't think so. It's just the way it should be. Don't forget, the tide of football analysis and presentation have really changed a lot. Somebody sent me a message the other day and said something that, hide. Let me read it. Okay, so I still have the message. Hold on, guys. Messages are piling up every day, so you got to, you just okay. Hi, Idafe. Good morning. I was sent in the morning. It's not today, like about 3 or 4 days ago. I think I was in Abuja when this message was sent. I want to talk to you about your guy, Victor Osimhen. Do you think that is starting to have law of diminishing return? You always said he's young, and because I think you're close to him, I want to believe your word. Or somehow you also got carried away as a Nigerian and forget that there's a possibility he may have cheated in his age, and now the law of diminishing return is telling on him, age is beginning to catch up with him and all that. So this is what I replied in. I said, thank you for your message. Age or no age, do you think that he's older than Victor, than Jude Ojoigalo? Jude Ojoigalo have been scoring since, even though you say he went to China and Saudi Arabia. Even when he came to Manchester United, the few games he played, he was scoring as well. Scoring goals have got nothing to do with age. It's not who older than Harry Kane, neither is he older than Lewandowski, or nor is he older than Karim Benzema. Let's be very honest about this. The thing is, when it comes to African players, especially Nigerian players, you guys are very quick to play the age card. But when it comes to foreign players, you don't play the age card as much. So a couple of seasons ago, Paulo Dybala was scoring goals like goals were going out of fashion. Now he's not scoring that much. I've never seen anybody say age have caught up with him. Nicholas Jackson was regarded as a player that would score tons of goals. He's struggling for goals. Is it age that have caught up with him? Last season, Ellen Haaland scored 56 goals in all competition. This season is managed, so now he's gone to 15, but he's managed 14 goals, in the league this season. Would you say a player that was scoring hat-trick back to back to back is now age have caught up with him? Because we all know when he was born in Leeds, right now he's not scoring the way he used to score, and he's caught a forlorn figure. Do we say he can't score again? Marcus Rashford was scoring just last season, was scoring goals like goals were going out of fashion. Now he can't seem to shoot to save his life. Is it age that have caught up with him? Sometimes we're too quick to play the age card once a black player, especially a Nigerian player, is involved. Can we also say that he's played loads of game? The team have changed. Players have been let go. Coach have changed. Style of play have affected him. And that could also be the reason why this is happening. Napoli is not a team that wins back to back. Napoli is not a team that is expected to be successful on a regular basis. Even the owners are not expecting any much success. They are still in the Champions League. They are up there in the league. Yes, not doing well to defend their title. We don't know if they will play in the continent next season. But between me and you, my brother, we can discuss Victor Osimhen without even mentioning his age in this conversation, because I get very, very tired. But it's my responsibility to respond to you because you've taken your time to reach out, and that's why. But we can, talk about these players without really bringing the age, because again, I don't think age is anything to do with this one. That's our conversation. So a lot of people are bringing this conversation up, and I think people. I'm not saying people don't have the right to say what they want to say. They do. Everybody have the right to say what they want to say, but this is just what I'm saying is not everything requires like harsh criticism. But let me explain something from the perspective of media. In today's media, especially the TNT, the CBS, if you watch CBS, yeah, you have Kit Abdul, Thierry Henry, Jimmy Carragher, and Michael Richards. I am sure you watch more of the banter. The banters is what you have online than the real football analysis. Have you ever asked yourself why? Broadcast today is about clicks, is about numbers. So let me use myself as example. I told you the story of how when Sadio Mane was at Bayern Munich, I wanted to interview him. And because of the relationship I have with Bayern, I wrote to them and I explained to them what I want to do, the fact that I want to interview him. And they were good with it. But they told me, look, we don't have 100% of his image right, so you have to go through his things. So they introduced us. And in introducing us, the guy said, they said I should send all the questions that I want to ask. So I did this. See, if I won't work, even devil self go cut for me. So I did a full spreadsheet. I did everything, like, the questions, you could see it. I put the questions, I put Sadio Mane where I need to answer. I do sketch and everything, and I sent it. Those questions in village, where grandmama come from, where he went to school. You see, this is his girlfriend now that everybody is talking about. He's a pedophile. No. The story, how it happened, where he came back 2 years before when the girl was 16, and the families were coming to the house to come and greet because he take care of a lot of people. And he saw the girl and he was just playing with the girl. And the parents said, "This is the family they want him to marry from." I explained to them how I want to tell the story and let him know that, okay, it is a cultural thing in Senegal. That is how, marriages are done. The guys were, wow, they were happy. Then I asked me to send the link of my channel, which I sent, and I sent some of the best work that I've done. And they went back and checked, that you've done Martin Tyler, you've done David Dean, you've done this, you've done that. They were happy. Victor Osimhen, they saw all those things. Gallo, you broke the news of his move to Manchester United. And we were in long email conversation. The thread is long. But it came down to one thing. The guy said, "We would really love to do this interview because there is so much honesty from what you want to ask, what you want to talk about. This is not just football talk. I wanted to do something special because I needed it to segue into me doing interview with Yaya Toure, Didi Drogba, and a host of other people. I still think that I'm an upcoming in this YouTube. I mean, I might be an OG in the business, 20 years now, but in this YouTube thing, I'm an upcoming. So I'm trying my best. And the nail that broke the camel's back was that your numbers are not there. We as a group, as his management, have agreed with him that if we're going to do a TV channel, it has to be a super network. If we're going to do a YouTube channel, minimum the person must have 500,000 subscribers and his views must be hitting the millions. If not, there is no need for it. And they were polite. They said, "We do hope that you understand. As a media person, you should understand the importance of numbers. Keep pushing your numbers. Might be Sadio Mane tomorrow, or it might be somebody else under our management. Keep this channel open. We'll keep talking. We'll be monitoring you and all that." I lost the chance. So what am I saying? When I brought the CBS thing in, is you notice that what they do is the banter, they joke about each other, because that's what people want, and that's what raises the numbers, because they will not give you the cumulative numbers of their YouTube, their Twitter, their Instagram, their what's all the other platform, their what's that one that was supposed to be a copycat of Twitter that's just hanging there. I think I Jesus Christ. Thread. All of those places, the numbers coming together is what you put forward, and those are the things that create numbers. So sometimes a player like Victor Osimhen is the biggest banker from the Africa side of town, because he's still the surest guy when it comes to the transfer conversation. Now that Arsenal didn't score yesterday, you see people, the conversation today will be, should Arsenal go for Victor Osimhen in the transfer window? Yes, they're scoring goals, but they still need a point man to go to, and Victor Osimhen is the guy to call. Bayern Munich are struggling. Should they bring in Osimhen to pair with Harry Kane to be the song to his Harry, the yin to his yang, and all those stuff? That kind of conversation will come up. So for that kind of player, unfortunately for him, spotlight will be on him a lot. Like, there's a whole lot of spotlight on him. I have said long ago that Victor Osimhen's best performance comes when you have a striker pairing with him. When he's playing alone, yes, he can bulldoze his way, but he's not a Drogba. Drogba is just a different guy. He's not George Opongwe. He's Victor Osimhen. He does well. If you look at the games where he scored more goals in the game, it's when he's got somebody pairing with him. He scored 4 goals against Satome and Principe, and you might say that very small team, but truth of the matter is Terry Murphy was pairing with him in that game, and you saw how it was easy for Terry Murphy to take attention, and then he got the space to score those goals. So it's one of those things you look at. And sometimes, again, I remember when I was still in Brilla, even though I didn't understand what it meant at the time, but we needed to, like, okay, and the word was the paradigm shift. You need to know when your organization had made a paradigm shift. That was the phrase that they used in that meeting. I still don't forget it. And we were clearly told that, look, sometimes you need to pick on the players or the coaches that are making headlines all the time. And so if you look at the Premier League, look at Sky Sports, Daily Mail, the Mirror, and all that, nobody talks about what's happening at Everton, Burnley, Sheffield United. I'm sure some of you don't know the manager of Sheffield United, right? The reason is those guys don't hit the headline. Those guys don't give you talking point. If you do any topic about them, nobody's going to be in the comment section. If I bring the coach of when was the last time anybody mentioned Vincent Company? Towards the end of last season, when they were playing imperious football, you would almost think that Vincent Company was managing in the Premier League. People talked about him more than they talked about the managers of teams that were in the Premier League, because Vincent Company was imperious in the Championship. But now they are not. Where when they played Arsenal and lost, it was Craig Bellamy that was on the bench. Vincent Company was I think suspended or so. He was in the stadium, but he wasn't on the bench. Nobody mentioned him. That's the way it is, because the guys at the top are the guys everybody focuses on. All the Everton, Luton Town, Burnley, Sheffield United, their managers and their players, nobody's talking about them right now. Even Chelsea, let's be very honest, nobody, with all the big money that they spend, £1 billion FC, Chelsea are in 10th position. People are starting to ignore them. So what's my point with this is the fact that Victor Osimhen is the African Footballer of the Year. He's the guy who won the goal leader, or the highest the golden boot from the Italian Serie A last season. It's a guy who scored 5 goals in 6 UEFA Champions League games last season. So there's always going to be conversation around him, like, what's going on? He's not playing well. He's not doing the things he's supposed to do. That is expected. Is it race based? I don't think so. Is it being too harsh on him? I don't think so. No, you went to the farm and you brought anti-infested firewood to your house. Don't complain about cockroach, spiders, those cockroaches, lizards, and all the insect that come, frog that comes to your doorstep, because exactly that's what they are coming to eat. It's as good as that. Nobody is going to be able to say because snake is so fine, he wants to use the snake as a belt, unless they've killed the snake and turned the skin into leather. If not, a live snake as your belt, well, anything will happen. Now you cause something to yourself. So he's a guy who's taking the mantle of being the best striker out of Africa, the best player out of Africa. Expectations are going to be going high. Nobody's expecting anything from Kudus. Nobody's expecting anything from a whole lot of other African players. But Victor Osimhen is that man. So Chika, back to your question, I don't think that they are being too harsh on him. The most important thing is he finished the goal. They could have, I think that they could have won that game. Barcelona was not really too superb, but on the strength of play, when the best player comes from the Barcelona team with the highest rating, 8.0, you know that they also did very well. Let me say, boss, I love the compliment Henry gave him. The compliment Henry gave Victor Osimhen. Obviously, Henry is a striker, so you see that's the thing with having people who play the game. They will be there and they will speak for football. But remember that not every studio have ex-footballers, and again, not every studio have footballers who. Being a footballer is one thing. Being good at being an analyst is another thing. I tell people that I went to school to study it, even though I played football. I went to Hamburg to go and learn how to be an analyst. Like, okay, to be an analyst, and I paid. I remember paying 1,315 euros. Yes, for school, ISB in Hamburg, to learn how to be an analyst. And when I say people, and it's not wrong, okay, for people to just come out and be analysts, there's nothing wrong with it. I look at Emmanuel Sebastian, for instance. I remember Emmanuel Sebastian reached out to me and said, I want to do this thing. Can I come and learn under you on this table? This table was where we sat down and we did a 3-month program. And now I see people writing me on my DM and say, Emmanuel Sebastian is lucky. Even people who came with him and couldn't, because I was pretty much disciplined. I tell them, you get here, we start by 10, so you got to be here before 10. And there was a day where they came 2 minutes after 10. Now listen, outside that is a good guy. No, I'm not a good guy. 2 minutes after 10 was when they entered this compound, right? And at the staircase there, I told them to go back. Emmanuel and the other boy, I've forgotten his name now, they practically stayed there for 2 hours downstairs. I didn't flinch. My wife like, babe, come on now, it's not fair now. They're coming all the way from the mainland, one coming from Ikeja, one coming from Ajegule. Give them, just let them now. And I didn't flinch. From that day, the other guy didn't come again. Manuel, after like 2 hours of staying there and knowing that I'm not going to move, he went back. After all, the whole training was 2 hours. He went back. But the next appointment, he was here again. And when he came back, I told him, I said, listen, you can frown your face, get angry. Go and ask where I'm coming from. I worked in Brilla for 13 years. I didn't go late one day. From this place, this Olokon Lasso, I have trekked from here to Adiyama Lakija before 2 occasions. From here, I have trekked to Bogije 4 occasions. Trek, not be say I enter moto, like trek. There was fight riot in the neighborhood. No, you can't even drive. All the roads were blocked, they're barricaded. But we have the show must. Our radio does not have public holiday. Does not have there's riot, stay at home. There's no stay at home. The first time I ever heard that people stay at home during anything was COVID. But I'd already left. So there was no stay at home. There was no precedent to that. Even they will tell you, they used to say it in the studio, like when we were working, when I was in Brilla, like, even if there's war, now they come work. My wife born around 1:05 p.m. 3 o'clock, I was already in the studio doing halftime at the minute. You know, in 2012. That's my first child. There's no mother-in-law. There's no, my mom had died. I don't have anybody around, no sister, nobody with her. I had to give a nurse 1,000 naira. Just stay with her. When I finish my show by 6, I'll run back. Okay. That's how much commitment I gave to it. So when you want to hang around me, I have expectations on you. So it's the same thing with the way football is. And that's got to be like a whole lot of expectations. And when that expectations are demanded on people, I don't think we should always see it in the raise bracket, but it's just one of those things that come. Chike Ayalago says, good point, boss. To you, do you feel Osimhen should have signed that new contract with Napoli? The view is that he isn't worth 100 million, and people feel he has dropped from a cliff this season. Okay, has it dropped? Yes, but Napoli have also dropped. So we what would have changed for him was if he had come to the AFCON and really maybe ended up as the highest goal scorer, scored 5 goals or 6 goals and won it. But then again, Nigeria played very terrible. Nigeria have not been good even when Napoli was doing well. So while the Nigerian result, the stand and the position went from 48 to 28 in the FIFA ranking, while that is fantastic, our play was not organized for us to get goals. We're just, so there's this analogy that I was making with my children, and I said to them that my children are living like they are billionaires' children, and most times I try to make them understand that your father is very, very broke. And so we were talking about food. We were having this conversation about, and I said, rich people eat for nutrients, poor people eat to survive. Even though my children eat for nutrients, and sometimes I wonder how we manage to do it anyway. So, Super Eagles at the Nations Cup played to survive. They didn't play to exhibit their full potential and prowess. So when you look at the Super Eagles team, all of the people you will praise, Trustekon, fantastic, Kesemi Ajayi, Kevin Bassi, the goalkeeper, Stanley Wabali, from that place, and then Frank Oyeka, you see all of these guys are defensive players. When you start going forward, truth be told, Alex Iwobi was not really excellent in the tournament. Moses Simon was not really excellent, even though he won one man of the match. Chukwueze was nowhere to be found. Lukman, brought the usual spark of scoring 3 goals. So when you look at all the people surrounding Victor Osimhen, they were already, shambles and batches and pitches. They were not really on the races, like really, really in the races. So all of that means that the things will not come together. Remember Rashidi Yakini in 94 and then Rashidi Yakini in 98. People love Rashidi Yakini so much so, but still they criticized him in 98 like he was a baggage, he was useless and all that. Peter Rufai in Maroc 88 versus Peter Rufai in France 98, 10 years gap. Peter Rufai was a technician from 94. Peter Rufai was already a liability, but we survived in 94. In 98, Peter Rufai was a liability. Now, but in this case of Victor Osimhen is playing in 2 teams that really do not create. After last season, Napoli have been dropping on all front. They sold their most solid defender, Kim Min-jae, and then they sold some players, and then they brought in some other players that have really not blended into the team. The team is not creating like the way they used to be. The team also lost their coach, Spalletti, who know how to, in the words of Victor Osimhen, he practically slept in the office. That guy sleep, walk the talk, and did everything to make sure that team come together. The current coach, more like, okay, this is Napoli. Come on, you guys are not meant to be title winners. Again, the teams that used to be sleeping giants are also waking up. Juventus have woken up. Inter Milan are not moving ground. AC Milan is neither here nor there, but the main teams are becoming the main team. Like Sevinkova will say, keep the main team, the main team. So the main teams have become the main teams, and right now it's hard to place it. So in other words, I would say that extending his contract was the best thing that happened to him, because a lot of things that people don't know is football is about security. Between the time he signed that contract, if he had not signed it, Napoli will make life difficult for him. I mean, go and check the history of Napoli. Napoli will make life difficult for him. That's one. He's living in a city that is an everyday crime scene. Napoli and Sicily are an everyday crime scene, right? So they might attack him. The mob might get him injured. That's one that we don't ever talk about. That some people, they just say social media, cyberbullying is a thing. Well, that's one. That's the kind of environment he's living in. That's one part of it. But he can also genuinely get injured and his contract run out and he doesn't get the security of money. So because he might really not make money in football to the point where he can end his career today and then nothing would happen. So this is security for him. because if any deal doesn't come in, it's got a contract that protects him, that pays him, that keeps him going for as long as he can. He has a daughter now, and he's got to pay bills and take care of the daughter, and he's got an avalanche of family. Have you noticed that since Victor Osimhen signed his professional contract with Wolfsburg, no member of his family works? Andrew runs around with him everywhere he goes. The sisters are fighting. The in-laws are on that the freeze today or one radio station tomorrow calling out Victor Osimhen. That's how, the amount of poverty around Victor Osimhen is not the type where you can be rational. Let's be very, very honest and analyze the boy from that. Chike, you are a professional. You work. You earn a living. There's a brother of Jude Odioegalo. His name is OZ. Okay, Augustine. He works, and when you see him, he doesn't act. The only thing that will make you know that okay, Igalo's brother is the last name that they both share. This is not like distant brother. This is the same amount, the same amount. But the point I'm making with it is one of a very few footballer family member that works. Most people, once their brothers sign that professional contract, it is to your God, we have made it. It's our money. And so that's the kind of family that Victor Osimhen unfortunately comes from. Now, his mother died a long time ago. His father died during COVID. There is really no matriarch or patriarch that keeps the family together. So it is everybody trying to exploit the boy. Everybody trying to. I've seen the sister go to do an interview with Daddy Freeze as well, attacking the other ones. And, the first thing that crossed my mind is, what if those ones have money as well? This will not happen. Me and my wife were talking about a family friend this morning. Now we're just talking, just having a conversation, and we're like, oh God, it's good to come from a family where everybody there's money, so that you don't marry a man who would treat you like shit, okay, or a woman who will treat you like shit. It's just the way it is. If the people you're marrying know that you have a fallback to, they'll treat you different from when they know that you're not getting anywhere to go. They can treat you as shit. And we use it for our children. Like, let's raise our daughter in such a way and our kids that they would have each other's back to the point where nobody from outside would treat one like shit because they feel like I'm helping you this liability, right? So that's some of the things you must look at when he signed that contract. He signed for security. It's signed for, what if I get injured? It's not about, okay, what even if I lose form for the next 2-3 years? Dele Ali didn't get injured, but do you think anybody wants to sign Dele Ali right now? That's how fleeting this thing called football is. You can be the best player this season. Look at Paulo Dybala. I mean, the projection was from Juventus. It will go to Real Madrid. It will go to Barcelona. It will go to Manchester United. Where is Paulo Dybala on the map today? The other guy that left Chelsea and went to AS Roma, what's his name again? Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham scored a lot of goals. They were comparing him to Victor Osimhen, comparing him to everybody. Where's Tammy right now? So that's football. It's not a Victor Osimhen thing. It's just the way football is. Those guys like Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, we drink Lionel Messi, we drink vampire blood. I can go 10 straight years. Harry Kane, Thierry Henry in their days, Alan Shearer, who can go 10 straight years, no shakement. Those guys are different. That's not the regular part. The football that people play, nothing is promised, nothing is given. So the only thing that ties you up, that keep you going, is a contract, the length of your contract. So yeah, the other time, Odia Gallo, for instance, was discussing, man, I don't tire, I won't stop. I said, you the Chris, you really, you sure you don't say you the match, yeah? It's like, bros, why? I said, not crazy. If not be crazy, worry, you talk this way, you talk so. But I don't tire, I won't retire. I don't play ball since I don't know that. I said, the turn that way go fire you if you talk that thing again. The slap, why I'll give you here. Sure, you know that scenario, and we're having that conversation. Why are we having that conversation? Ask, I say, you don't see your children never even enter secondary school. Just small 9-year-old, 11-year-old, and you want to retire from football. People are willing to pay you salary to the run for feed. You sound like they're kicking you. You're playing in a league where they practically worship you. Play until they get tired of you. For as long as they're not tired of you, somebody's willing to pay. My brother, they see the game as Jeong where they pay salary. Okay? And he laughed. Man, you finish playing game in the morning, you took a private jet and come. I say, if you retire, if you try and rent that private jet. Fit. Rent private jet for $157,000. Who you be now? You don't understand. So sometimes these things happen. That's why he signed the contract. I've heard a lot of people say it was foolish for signing the contract. It's like, are you really serious? Do you understand these games? But again, fans will be fans. Fans will be fans, and they will say, this is what should have happened, that should have happened, but I don't think so. Chika Helugu says CBS is banter, especially to get the American audience on board. That's the point. Numbers, rating. If I have 1 million subscribers, I'm very honest with you guys. If I have 1 million subscribers, I might not even be doing live again. I'll just be doing content, street content. I might not even be talking sports. I might just go to a restaurant. I'm eating. I'm shooting a video. Lifestyle. I'm sitting with Ojo Galo. We're going. What are we eating today? It would just be so 5 minutes, 10 minutes video uploading because I have 1 million subscribers. No matter how bad reach that 1 million people, 300,000 people go view them. But when you have 12,882 people on your channel and you're begging every day for them to be there, there's nothing you will do. You must be obedient to the call. You must be Peter Obi boy. You must become obedient. But when you get 1 million subscribers, you become a bit local. It's my turn. Yeah, you become a bit arrogant. So that's the way it works in the media. So when you see them take on big name players that first off they know that Africans know how to react. They didn't give Nigerians Grammy and look at how they react. We need that reaction. You know, say that reaction favor Grammy past anybody. They need that reaction because it's media. They want that kind of comment because it means that if they take on, we're talking about TNT here now because they talked about Victor Osimhen. I'm sure if they didn't talk about Victor Osimhen, nobody would even talk about TNT in the first place. So those are some of the things that you need to understand, that some of these things are deliberate. When Sky Sports got Gary Neville and Jimmy Carragher to be talking rubbish, it's not that these guys are really foolish people. It's because that's what the company wants. They are moving from the terrestrial to the digital, and to play in that space, they know that one man have mastered the field. What's his name? Piers Morgan. He's mastered the field so well and he's used it to gain more traction than even the big media houses. The guy have more traction than the people he work for. He was working for ITV. He had more following than ITV. So they needed those kind of conversation, and they're playing it well. I think it's the CBS people that have mastered it. Put one fine girl. I mean, when was the last time you watched TV and a lady presenting sports is wearing an inner dress? Just a singlet. Kid Abdul will not wear the jacket on top. Just a singlet. You know, the Agbalumo there. I don't know whether you're looking at football, you're looking at the Agbalumo. Thierry Henry is doing his face like this. I don't know how he does that, Isha. And then Michael Richards is just declining himself. They pay them to do all that. Do they talk the real sports? Yes, they do. But majority of the time, they're complaining about how Jimmy Carragher pronounces people's name, Olivier Giroud, whatever. It's strategy. It's business strategy. That's the attention that people get. And to capture people's attention, it might be 1 hour I don't talk since, so only 41 people there. My brother, to capture people's attention hard though, human attention, and they hear Nigerian pastors. Nigerian pastors, they scam people. People see they call. The magician they do every week, or they do comedy in that bosque. People see they come church, they come clap. To capture attention, not easy. To have people give you the attention, you must do things that normally Kate Abdo, I'm not sure she would go out dressing like that. But hey, that's what the show needs. That's what the show. I used to say that to Ogie, like I'm the prettiest girl I worked with. You know, I used to say to her, like, Ogie, you know, if I was you, hey, I don't know, Sha, but the whole of Nigeria will be eating from my palm. Because she's good, she knows the job, she's fantastic, she's pretty. Whoo, Sha. Mrs. Sedaf is looking at me right now. No. Let's come back. Let me not go and impregnate somebody's daughter from the imagination. Let me just stay here. Let's continue the conversation. Everybody say, mere looking at Osimhen, you will know that he's young for real. Only someone with an agenda against African Nigerian players would think he age cheats. Not mind them. Talk anyhow. You know, you look at the people where they older than him. I mean, he's the last one of the house. Look at his older sister. You see the girl where they born Osimhen follows. So you would say that one Osimhen younger sister. So I wonder when people bring about this issue. Olafat say good morning, boss. Good morning to you. After yesterday's game, people came out to say Arteta can't take Arsenal far in Europe. What's your take on that, sir? They are still in Europe, and before Arteta came, Arsenal had gone 7 years without going to even seeing Europe in the first place. So where they are right now in Europe is far. I will beat my chest, that Arsenal will beat FC Porto at the Emirates. That's a guarantee. So they are in the next round. I don't know who they will meet. If they meet Napoli, they'll beat Napoli. If they meet Barcelona, they'll beat Barcelona. If Bayern go through, they meet Bayern, they will beat Bayern. There are a lot of teams that they will beat. Two teams I don't want them to meet anyway, Man City or Real Madrid. Because with Real Madrid, the referee is not on your side. So that one is one first. And then two, the aura of Real Madrid. I know that if you want to beat Madrid in Champions League, beat them in the knockout stage, but I don't want them. Well, Madrid have never beaten Arsenal. So we can say, okay, that one will count for Arsenal. It's the only team that Madrid have not beaten in the Champions League. Every other team they beaten, but let's keep our fingers crossed and see. So whatever those people have to say, they're entitled to their opinion. I'm not going to force it or tell them not to say what they want to say, but I don't think it's necessary right now. Okay. Lord Mayor Sebos, do you like Talk Sports analysis on football? I just don't like the analysis. I think I do. I think I do. Simon Jordan is my kind of guy. Says shit from the hip, and I mean I've got respect for Simon Jordan to be able to own an EPL club, Crystal Palace, the way and manner he rescued that club when they were going into administration. I will respect him forever. Sometimes people have got to be different. Alan Brazil also, I like what he brings, and then what's the other guy, the Scottish guy, McCoy. McCoy. I think it's good. And then the lady that left, and then this new girl now, I've really not gotten used to her. But the lady that left, there was this lady that was there that was very, very good in the morning. Forgetting her name now. Jesus Christ. Okay. But I think they are doing well. You know, not liking that kind of Agbola, they get everything. There's analysis, there is fun, there is joke, there is interview, there is fierceness. What is football analysis? Analyze the stats, the facts, the figure, make your predictions, and then also put yourself to it. So you bring the game side, the fact side, the stat side, and then the human angle side. And they do all of it. Okay. So maybe you don't like the tune. And that's why people hate me when I was in Brilla, for instance. Like I say to people, never in the history of broadcast have anybody been hated as I was hated in radio, right? But the thing is, majority of the people who hated me didn't even know anything about football. Last time we interviewed Kenneth Omero, Emmanuel Sebastian, Omero said something that I liked. He said, all the people that are insulting him and a lot of the Super Eagles players, their brothers are not playing in the team. If their brothers are playing in the team, they won't say that. And he had a very good point, and I agree with him. You know, and when you look at some of the times when you say you don't like them, the question is, what are you really looking for that makes you not to like them? What are they saying that is not true? What are they saying that is wrong about the way football is presented, sports programs are presented, or football is analyzed or reported that is against the norm? You know, like I remember when I was summoned by the embassy, I went and I sat down in front of the woman. The woman started reading a list of things. You say you call people cola on your show. You call people legbe something on your show. You call people this. You're calling all sort of names. And I said, Madam, have you been to Warri before? She said, no. Madam, did you grow up speaking Pidgin English? She said, no. I said, you're questioning somebody who speaks Pidgin English, which is a language that you do not understand, the terminologies. And you don't even know if those things that I'm saying. I say it's like when I listen to Tiwa Tiwa and they are talking and you hear somebody say Wagbai, you hear somebody say the Washiri Padimi, you enjoy it because you're a Yoruba woman, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the same thing with what I do. The average warrior Pidgin English person knows that those things are normal. Like cola is when somebody used to be bono, somebody used to be hot. Now it's cold. It's not an insult. It's just saying the person don't lose form. Okay, so I could say, oh, if I was saying in English, I mean, it used to be in hot form. Right now, it's cold. It's not in form anymore. You know, like, you know, guys, this is normal talk. You don't understand, you should ask questions. Don't tell me that you want to sanction me for something that you don't even have an understanding. How do you sanction somebody for something you don't have an understanding of? A language that you don't understand, right? You should learn also to open up your mind. And, you know, it was me standing before the judge, but educating the judge eventually. And sometimes these things happen, right? So I don't think that we should sit where we are and judge them when you don't even understand the rules of the game. That's what I think. Well, where was I? What was I? Lamire, and once again, thank you for the money you gave us the other time. Good morning, Elevator TV. Please, will there be a live broadcast for Cameroon versus Super Falcons match? I'm not sure. Adewale Saka said 39 viewers, 14 likes. Abana, my brother, forget about it. I don't even bother anymore. Olatunji Emmanuel said, boss, it just seems like Haaland doesn't get chances, unlike when Alvarez was leading the line for City. Sometimes he even gets one clear cut chance in a game. What do you think is the reason? So the team has evolved. Certain players, and I said this a long time ago. I said one of the most overrated player in Manchester City is Bernardo Silva, and last the one of the most underrated player was Ike Gundogan. The thing that he does, the muscles that he pulls and all that. Uh, I've not seen any season where Bernardo Silva gets you double figures in assist or goals. But he's seen as a key player because he know how to make those short movements and pop up. Well, just when you start asking questions about him, he pops up and score one kind of impossible goal that nobody expects anybody to score. So the fact that Ike Gundogan have not been replaced. And some players like the wings are not functioning. Doku can take on player, but he's a headless chicken. I don't think he's. I mean, he's just another Moses Simon. He can take on players, but his delivery is not good. Just when the other guy that came from Aston Villa, what's his name now? They have calves and muscles to show. What's his name? Oh, Grealish. Jack Grealish is just beginning to get into the groove. Injury is whipping him back and forth. So that's a weakness. And then what players like Mahrez brings in, nobody's been able to replace him. So the team is going through an overhaul. And last season, Kevin De Bruyne was fantastic. Ike Gundogan was fantastic. It was working well. Now, Kevin De Bruyne had not played for the very long time in the season. By the time Kevin De Bruyne came in, Haaland is already a forlorn figure. It seems like there's a disconnect between him and the coach even. A lot, seems to be going on. But the most important thing is they're in the title race. They're still in the Champions League. They look like they will defend it. I mean, you never can tell. They might do another treble again this season. Who knows? But let's keep our fingers crossed. I just don't think that they will win the Premier League anyway. Oh, that's me. I mean, I might be wrong. Where do I stop? I wrote to Lagos if I agree to Arsenal don't collect for sure. Olafat said yesterday Arsenal game. The game was in play for 50 minutes and 36 fouls took place. Yet the ref didn't give much added time. Should we say the ref was in favor of FC Porto? The time that they had, if Arsenal had scored, would you say the same thing? So was Arsenal looking for extra time to score their winning goal? Was Arsenal looking for the extra time to win the game, or Arsenal, just didn't play well? I don't want to say that because whatever time that was given, the time was available for both sides, and Arsenal controlled the possession of the game more than FC Porto. They didn't create chances enough to score. I'm not going to blame anybody. Olafa says Moses Simon is an upgrade on Doku. It's because they sold Slimani to Southampton that made Doku shine at Rennes. All right, okay. Well, we've come to the end of the show. No more time to add. Once again, I want to go back up there and say massive thank you to okay. Olanere Ogbari, thank you very much for giving us $10 today. I really appreciate. For all of you who view it, thank you for viewing. But why you don't like it, I don't know. Please tell me why you always don't click on the like button when you come on the live. And I mean, practically one of the reasons why sometimes I don't get encouraged to come to the night show, because it doesn't really feels good. Like, okay, you're going to put in that effort, deprive yourself of sleep, and you're not sure if the people are going to be there. For those who always, show commitment to the show, thank you very much. I really do appreciate. And let's see again tomorrow morning. We will do another one, and I hope that tomorrow will be better than today. But whatever it is, thank you very much, Olanari Ogbari. God bless you and have for yourself a wonderful day. Like I always say, if you can't be the solution, please don't be the problem. And if you know anybody who's trying to fix this, don't stand in the way. Be a good friend. This is if you're a friend to Nigerian right now who lives in Nigeria, be a good friend to them. And sometimes it's not just about money. Money is good, but sometimes just call them and ask them genuinely, how are you feeling? Somebody called me yesterday for 45 minutes, was just crying. I am tired. I want to kill myself. I want to die. I was listening and we got talking, we got talking, and person is still alive. So seems like it's working. Okay. Checked up this morning. How are you? So I'm still here. I hope you stay. I mean, these days I keep hearing people want to die. What it is coming when I will tell the person, say, please go and buy sniper. It is coming, but I'm not there yet. But it just might happen one day, because sometimes I just get tired, of people just wanting to die. Hardship is part of life, but if you are anywhere, call your friends, check up on them. People are going through terrible things, very, very difficult times right now for everybody. Call on people, check on them, ask them how they are feeling. You might not have anything to give to them, but they just want to know that somebody cares, because it's beginning to look like nobody really gives a F about anybody right now. Again, call on everybody. And if you're in Nigeria too, that's why there's WhatsApp. Call on your diaspora brothers and sisters. And for once, don't ask them for money or help. Just ask, how are you feeling? As work, as the family. I just said, let me check up on you, right? Call on people. Just check up on them. Know how they're doing. No, let them know that they can still count on you as a friend, as a brother, as an acquaintance. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.